After a narcissist hurts you, instead of apologize, this is how they prefer to fix things up. Welcome to another episode in which we will discover and expose everything about narcissists. Today's discussion is about how narcissists frequently try to make up for their faults in different ways. It may be different for each narcissist, but their pattern is mostly the same. Narcissists want only one thing in a relationship: to be the center of attention. They'll make use of everything to their own advantage. Their target in a relationship is not the same for each narcissist, though. In other words, the only constant applies. There may be numerous relationships going on at once for a narcissist, each of which provides them with different advantages. To them, nothing is out of reach. Wealth, a lavish lifestyle, a prominent place in society, you name it. To satisfy their insatiable need for attention, narcissists may engage in a number of romantic relationships at the same time. One source provides a negative supply, the other provides zero supply, and a third provides an extremely potent fresh supply. Negative or no supply is ignored by the narcissist ultimately, until the new supply sinks down the food chain and becomes negative. They'll enjoy it to their heart's content. However, whenever they mess things up, apologizing is the last thing they would want to admit. To make up is to mend a relationship with another person, or to terminate a disagreement. This is a regular occurrence while interacting with narcissists due to their tendency to make trouble and bring harm to others. Because they don't wish to face the repercussions of their actions, they avoid confessing that they have done wrong. Consequently, the likelihood of receiving an apology from them is practically non-existent. They prefer to devise complex plans to improve the situation while avoiding addressing the root of the issue. Most of the time, a narcissist would prefer them in order to avoid being reminded of a mistake they made. Thus, I will cover 3 of them in today's video. First, they will make it in such a way that they will never again hear about it. They desire that you forget about it and refrain from bringing it up again. By this, I mean that narcissists never want to hear the truth about their defects and shortcomings. They don't wish for you to present this at the table. By pretending the incident never occurred, they will believe you are acting in their and your best interests. To guarantee that their reconciliation or make-up session goes as planned, narcissists rely on a handful of important variables. They twist things up and bring another hot issue to cover the main issue at hand. Or if not, they'll give you some space to think about it, which brings me to my next point. Secondly, granting you additional time is one of their favorite tactics. This is a great method when it comes to manipulating others. If a narcissist realizes they have offended you, they may withdraw to avoid apologizing or addressing the issue. After they have stopped talking to you or avoided you for a long period of time, bringing up an old issue when you encounter them again may appear odd. Therefore, they would meet you with a grin and at present and act as if there was no prior conflict between you two. The objective of the narcissist is to encourage you to follow their lead and be susceptible to their seduction once more. But most importantly, you must be willing to continue the relationship as if nothing negative had occurred or try again by forgetting the past and starting anew. The phenomenon of the narcissist is not new. Consequently, the cycle of toxicity resumes. People are still deceived into believing that they can start over and have a better life. In truth, it's not. In addition, the narcissist may accuse you of being pessimistic and stuck in the past if you continue to criticize their actions. They would attempt to persuade you that discussing the past was not a good idea. Thus, it is time to move on and concentrate on the present. I usually assert that narcissists have 2 distinct sets of rules. They refuse to confess a mistake or accept responsibility for their actions whenever they make one. If, on the other hand, you are at fault, they would be pleased to spend hours debating it, making you feel so awful that you would break, and compelling you to do a variety of things to make up for it. As a consequence, we cannot tolerate their deceit. It shouldn't be feasible for someone to have 2 distinct sets of rules in relationships. Nonetheless, let's return to the subject of time. In the narcissist's mind, the time they provide will be sufficient for you to forgive them and go on without apologizing or taking responsibility for anything. If you want to conclude a conversation with a narcissist as quickly as possible, they may listen to what you say and pretend to agree with you. They do so to create the idea that they care about what you have to say and are actively listening, but it is all an act, because it makes you feel better. And they may even nod as if they agree to accept responsibility. A narcissist will never accept responsibility. Narcissists feel they are invulnerable to criticism. The narcissist wants you to assume that he or she has accepted responsibility when, in reality, they have not taken any action, even apologize in the abstract, meaning that they are not sorry for any particular incident. Whatever it is, I done wrong, I'm sorry, etc., is one of their favorite catchphrases. They attempt to appear reasonable, but have no intention of taking responsibility for anything. In the third place, and most likely because it is the easiest and most fun for them, narcissists prefer to employ seduction to return things to their previous state. The narcissist believes that having sex will alleviate the situation faster than actually discussing the issue. In a crisis, they will just embrace you, care for you, and treat you as if you were their most valuable possession. I'll tell you one thing. They are extremely skilled at it. The narcissist utilizes closeness to manipulate your emotions and use them to make you forget the trauma they've caused. Even though they appear to be very close to you on all levels, engaging in sexual activity with them would only weaken and contaminate your spirit. It is typical for narcissists, whether male or female, to exploit proximity to convince their victims that they care about them and want to be near them. In actuality, though, this is really a smokescreen to conceal the true problem. In each instance, the narcissist avoids addressing their flaws. So that they may avoid discussing their concerns, they wish to make up and kiss. As long as it is effective, they will continue utilizing it. They also believe that discussing the matter in general terms and making hollow promises to do better is sufficient. Narcissists struggle to apologize because they believe they do not need to. A narcissist can only be reconciled with if the other person behaves as if they have never done wrong and would never do wrong again. We are, therefore, here to debunk their lies using the truth. So please let me know in the section below if you have anything to add. Please share your thoughts about today's video. As always, we appreciate your attention. Consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell button below the video for future updates. Thank you for your time and consideration. Will a narcissist ever apologize? When it comes to influencing others, narcissists are very good at it. They're notoriously skilled at inflicting agony and suffering on others. In fact, how the perpetrators of such atrocities can continue to walk the streets of their communities without guilt is puzzling to many. Is there truly no regret in their hearts? Have they any notion of what they're doing? In reality, narcissists are fully aware of the pain they inflict on their victims. Even if they don't plan to hurt you, they are completely aware of the fact that they could. True, but their lack of empathy prohibits them from showing you compassion. They are unable to connect with others due to their lack of empathy. To them, it is unavoidable that you must suffer for them to succeed. Therefore, narcissists have difficulty believing that their actions are unethical or deserving of punishment. They don't harm you because you're a person. You are simply in their way. As a starting point, how do these individuals handle situations where there is proof but no one to blame? It is a reality that narcissists lack remorse. They appear to be making no apology. They may continue as before, downplaying the gravity of the problem, or they may distance themselves from the matter. You may learn a great deal about narcissists based on how they respond to past setbacks or blunders. Narcissists do not feel remorse for their actions, and they manage their mistakes so that they do not harm them, even if it means harming others. Narcissists never display true regret or remorse for their faults or wrongdoings. Every negative charge represents an opportunity for the narcissist to abuse one of the following cognitive processes. They are always attempting to justify their behavior to begin with. People who defend their actions and words act as though the individuals to whom they did or said anything merited it. Due to their paranoid tendencies, People may assume they are in danger, or that another person poses a threat when neither of these is true. In spite of this, they can use it to explain their dislike of others or the efforts they've made to decrease or remove the risk. The third defining quality of narcissists is their desire to diminish their actions. The other individual's words and actions are not harsh, but they are extremely sensitive. When they make unwelcome comments and responses, you may believe they are joking because they make it appear as though they are making a joke, because this is the message they genuinely wish to send. And when you believe what a narcissist tells you, they know they are right, and you are the problem. Narcissists, for instance, may say these things in an attempt to deceive you, and you may fall for it. To put a stop to their misdeeds, they would bury their victims as a final act of vengeance. Because they suffer from selective amnesia, narcissists want you to believe they don't recall some of the horrible things they've done in the past. Because of this, narcissists are so bent on erasing their errors and blaming others for their misfortunes. When narcissists are offended or disturbed, they choose to cling on to their animosity for the rest of their life instead of forgiving or forgetting. On the other hand, they may fabricate fake facts to convince themselves they are the victim and forget the crime they have committed. Narcissists may lack the ability to recollect past events because they have either distorted or concealed them for so long. As a result of their careless management of the situation, they sow the seeds of confusion on purpose. These methods are employed by narcissists in order to minimize the consequences of their blunders. In order to justify their actions, they will attempt to minimize or overlook the significance of it. Instead of taking responsibility for their errors, they assign blame to others. They are unwilling to accept responsibility for their actions. If asked, they will readily admit that the error was made by someone else. They are unaffected by their actions and harbor no remorse. A funny apology from a narcissist who doesn't care about what they've done is frequent among narcissists. If you believe this to be true, the narcissist will be thrilled if you stop bringing it up, as he or she despises having their flaws highlighted. They may say sorry only to get rid of all they're dealing with, without actually acknowledging their mistakes. As long as you stop pursuing them, they will immediately revert to their original selves. Do not let them be. As long as they continue to create excuses for their horrific conduct, we must hold them accountable for their actions. Keep an eye out for narcissistic behavior, and don't let them get away with justifying or downplaying the damage they've caused. To avoid more injury, narcissists attempt to avoid those who insist on doing things differently than they do. Therefore, they must be informed that we will no longer accept their excuses and have had enough of their hoaxes spiced with falsehoods. Do not expect narcissists to apologize for their behavior, since their apologies will be insincere. Due to their self-centeredness, they believe they can get away with anything. They believe that they can do and say anything without fear of repercussions. On this particular day, though, this will be the only topic to discuss. In the comments section below, if it's okay with you, please relate your experiences with people who try to justify their awful behavior. As always, I appreciate your thoughtfulness and attention. For future reference, subscribe to this channel and enable the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any newly uploaded videos. It is lovely to have you here. Thank you.